There's this idea that new technologies, they people overestimate the amount of immediate results, and they underestimate the long-term results. Obviously, this doesn't apply to every technology because a lot of technologies are legitimate flops. Like NFTs were a nothing, like they were a technology, but they never had anything meaningful to do. And so, like, the long-term effects of NFTs, maybe other than as an example of a weird financial instrument, not really meaningful. um, but people keep on applying this to the new language models, generative adversarial networks, all of that statistical machine learning stuff that became weirdly trendy about 5 years ago. Um, and like people are saying, people are interpreting this. I think it does apply, but people are interpreting it in the wrong way. People are interpreting this as, oh, you know, you won't be able to replace all your employees with AI tomorrow, but you will in 5 years or something. No, I think that the answer is no. You can't do the task that you want to do today with the AI. Like you're gonna lose money because number one, they are not actually charging you what it's costing them. They're OpenAI, Anthropic, and everybody. They're just going into debt, um, with like a loss leader rate, to do like unnecessarily complicated calculations for tasks that often the tasks that these language models are doing, you have actual software to do that that's actually like optimized. So like completely unnecessary. And the cost is kept artificially low, right? Uh, so like what's going to happen in not too long, in the long term result of this is every fucking company that did that tried to incorporate AI is either going to go out of business or is going to like have to scramble to remove AI from anything vaguely important, because the reliability is not there. It's not going to be there until people develop an entirely non-statistical, formal proof system or whatever, completely different kind of technology that you can't just throw data at. Like you have people are going to have to handwrite ontologies and formal logic, a lot of them, before it's going to make sense to have computers do a lot of the things that autonomously that like are being promised right now. But because of capitalism, basically, like the decision makers are the people with the money, and they're isolated by design from the actual situation on the ground. And so they don't learn about the situation until things crash, at which point they just, leave because they already got their money. They're insulated by their money from the results of the economic crash that they caused for everybody. This is a pattern that occurs over and over again. This is very standard. And so they don't have to know or care whether the things they're hyping actually work, and they don't. So the long term effect is not, oh, a glorious AI feature. It's, we're going to, this is like the Y2K bug, right? We're going to spend the next 20 years paying consultants a lot of money to try to figure out, to scrape through Git commit histories and try to figure out, oh, you know, this wasn't committed by Claude, but the person who committed it seems to be using Claude. We need to remove that. You have to treat it like asbestos, right? Is that going to be a big industry? Sure, but like nobody fucking wants to do that. Like, who wants to do that? Who wants to clean up the results of somebody else's bad decision? I don't. Um, so, like, if you're in a position where you're, like, deciding whether or not you want to, incorporate a language model, if you're being pressured to incorporate a language model and it's clearly, like, it's anything that it's like it has any chance of, like, failing, just don't do it, resist it. I don't know. Like, I understand, like, if you're a software engineer, you actually don't necessarily have a lot of power over even the technical decisions that you're supposed to be in charge of making. That doesn't always happen. But you have a little bit of power because ultimately the language models, again, like, you could have formal methods that can generate code. This is, in fact, like, you could have compilers generate code. But the statistical stuff, like, is never going to do what people think it will. But the bosses don't know that and may not know that for years, may not realize that the work they think is being done is not being done, or, that it has completely unacceptable failure rates, completely unacceptable security flaws. They may not ever really find that out. But right now they think we can get rid of all of our software developers. Like, the moment you complain about, this is the wrong technology or this is the wrong way to do it, well, you know, you're out, and they think you're gonna be replaced with the language model. But, like, if they do that, it's on them. Like, whatever. You can't save, you can't save, you know, these organizations from Darwining themselves. But what you can do is you can try to, make it, do your part to try to resist this integration so that, you know, in a couple of years, there are a couple things that work. Like, I would like to I would like to not just have to abandon the internet like they did in Charlie Strauss's book Accelerando, because it was all, you know, scam agents, and there are so many scam agents that you had to just abandon the whole internet and make a new internet. I don't want to do that. I like that we have the internet. Uh, anyway, those are my 2 cents.